coming into our second week. We ended at camel. We're going to come into a high lunge. So we've lined the back foot, outside edge of the back foot up with the mat as much as we can. We're opening the chest, squaring the hips, lengthening down through the coccyx or tailbone. The high lunge is going to stretch the hip flexors on that back leg. So we're going to lengthen down, bend that front knee as we really engage the core, grounding down through the feet. We're going to transition into pyramid. So I've clasped my hands behind my back. You can bring them to blocks next to that front foot if that's more comfortable, or you can bring them down to your leg. We're going to come up and transition the back foot so that its arch is lined up with the front heel and engage those glutes, and we come down into triangle. We're really warming up for our peak pose of Warrior 3 here. That's what this whole sequence is doing. So we're going to bend the front knee. We're going to come into Warrior 2, really grounding down, finding our center here. We're going to rotate and then come into Warrior 1, bring the hands up, keeping in mind here the difference between a high lunge and warrior pose, and we're going to transition to triangle again, is that the hips won't square because the foot is not square in the back between the high lunge and the warrior. We're going to lunge forward with the upper body and revolve around into revolve triangle. Now you can have a block under that arm that goes down to the floor. We're going to repeat this sequence on the other side. So we're coming into high lunge, really pulling those shoulder blades down away from the ears, really engaging the glutes, really engaging the core and the abdominal muscles. And each side's going to be different. So, meet yourself where you're at. Don't push it. You don't have to match on both sides. Raising the arms, and as we exhale, we'll transition into pyramid. So we bring the hands down, we're going to straighten the front knee and bend at the hip here. So we're bending at the hip. We're going to come up, bring the back foot around, engaging those quads, and we're coming into triangle, Looking up towards the top hand if that feels good for you, making sure we have nice length in the neck here. And then bend the front knee, come down, spread the arms wide into Warrior 2. We're going to exhale as we rotate our upper body forward into Warrior 1. And come down, straighten the knee, come back into triangle. And we want to keep in mind when we transition into revolve triangle to keep the hips where they are. So the hips stay, upper body comes forward, and we exhale, rotate around. Reach for the floor, keep the hips where they were. And we're going to come up, and we will continue next week.